Dos dentes para largar. Incerto na demanda que conduz.
It is really a kind of statement, an artistic statement and a philosophical statement, a political statement, because we really feel that in this nowadays in the Western society, so to speak, the weight of economy, of money is really becoming too strong. This is making the rules, and it shouldn't be like that. What should decide upon the rules for human beings are the human properties, the real human properties. What is happiness, love, freedom, and all those things. So I think that behind, and much more important than the so-called economic crisis, the real crisis is a philosophical and civilizational crisis. So in that sense, A Love to Cry is a kind of a warning shout. It's shouting loud because the opera is quite extreme and dark, so to speak, and maybe tragic.
It's like a parable of birth of humankind and perhaps the death of humankind, with the sun coming down and then at the end coming up again, but we don't know. It's like a big interrogation, a big question. Are we going somewhere? Might it finish? Might we not be able to care the human being until further development? And all the music is made in this parable, and also the video, to be as near as possible to the music. In fact, all the scenario was made after the music is ready, to really fit and help the music to say what it has to say.
The construction of the text is, in fact, more than I usually do, is the text has a very specific and clear meaning. Many times I'm much more abstract, but I didn't decide that. It just came out like that. When I start working on the text, mostly I was working on, I work usually the text very much in the same way I compose. I used to say that I compose text now. I don't write text, I compose text. So what really interests me is from two words or with two sounds, or a couple of sounds within two words or something, to really develop abstract operations, like if I would be composing with cells intervals. And so that is to say that what can be a transposition, what can be an inversion, what can be a rallentando and accelerando, and I also work spectrally in terms of controlling the vowels. It's O, U, and if it's like in Polish, A, E, I, O, U, it's completely U is dark and O, and then I, you have just the fundamental very high partials, and then E is in between, and A. So all the phonetics, so the spectral content of the voice and of the spoken language is very important for me. So usually I work in a very abstract manner. So conducting operations upon the text just for the sake of the operations. But not to have a phonetic result, a pure musical result, but to have a result that combines phonetic dimension, sound dimension, with semantic dimension, with a sense. And so it was built like that. As I was developing the text, it became clear, a really focused message, very clear about what I wanted to say. And that I didn't had planned before. You know, it just came out little by little. My first plan was just, I'm going to talk about the human condition now, because I think we are living problematic and serious moments. And for me, the sound object I've chosen was exactly what the title says. I love to cry. And this is a kind of morphotemporal development that I've been using to develop most of the music. But then, when I start from that and with this idea writing the text, somehow the text took over, and I was taken by the text into a certain direction to say something very specific.